back with Hatol ng Bayan, and joining us tonight, the analysts and how they look at the turnout of the May 10 elections on Monday. On my left, Ramon Casiple of the Institute of Political Reform. Magandang gabi sa iyo, Ramon.
Gabi din, Freddie.
Professor Charleston Chua of the Vice President of the Philippine Historical Association. Magandang gabi.
Magandang gabi po sa inyo at sa inyong lahat.
We have Dr. Popoy Vera of the in Public Administration, the University of the Philippines. Magandang gabi sa iyo, Popoy.
Good evening.
And of course, joining us tonight, Atty. Marc Castrodes and General Leonardo Espina, the spokesperson of the Philippine National Police. Good evening, sir.
Magandang gabi po sa inyo lahat at sa lahat po nakikinig sa inyong program.
You know, let me go to you, Mon. We've seen the evolution of the first ever automated elections, and this is a first for us. And given all the problems we've seen, and there have been solutions, can you finally say that, I mean, the integrity of an automated elections is possible in these elections?
Well, actually, that's the reason why we will have an election on Monday. The integrity of the process, I think, is still there. It's intact. May mga problema, siyempre. Gaya ng mga nangyari sa UV lamp, itong lately nangyari sa memory card. But then, at the bottom line, there is, I think it's working. We will have an automated election on Monday.
So many times in the past, the Commission on Elections find, normally before the elections, they find their credibility somehow questioned because of the manual count. But at this stage of the game, would you say that the COMELEC can face our people and say that whatever problems have been there over the past several months, those problems have been addressed and the system will not favor any particular candidate?
Well, I think they are saying that. I think may konting nervyos.
Anong klaseng nervyos yun?
Well, the fact that we had a last-minute glitch in the machine itself, and then this calls for postponement, and then there are even a Supreme Court decision to have a last-minute review of what they're doing. Pag hindi pa naman sila ni-nervous yan eh. But I think this stood their ground. Chairman Melo himself said that there's no question that we will have the elections on Monday.
I'd like to ask si Professor Charleston, siguro coming from the university and seeing the youth participate in greater numbers sa panahong ito, is that going to help the community appreciate the machines better and the automated systems better dahil mas tech-savvy nga ito mga kabataan? Meaning, would this result to the greater acceptability ng resulta dahil nga yung kabataan are coming in greater numbers?
Siguro yun nga, they're going to really help, no? Dun sa pag-i-inform sa mga magulang nila, when the families will go to the polls, sila yung kasama na, wag matakot. Kasi sa totoo lang, ang gagawin lang naman ng botante, mag-shade, ipapasok sa PCOS. Di naman kailangan na sobrang alam nila yung system kung boboto lang sila. Ang kailangang makaalam nung kung how the system works are those who are watching. Yeah. Yung mga poll watchers, and many of them are youth. Yung PPCRV are calling now for young volunteers. We're going to, malakas ang kabataan ngayon. Yung awareness, siguro, yung lumaki sila for 10 years na may nakikita silang something sa pamahalaan at may gusto silang baguhin, malaking factor ito dun sa partisipasyon ng kabataan. So tama ka dun na makakatulong sila, pero siguro still have to be seen kung magkakaroon nga ng impact yung youth vote.
Okay.
Ang madalas din natin napag-uusapan ay yung mga violence, election-related violence. May mga areas tulad po sa Misamis Oriental na hindi umaabot dito sa Maynila. Yung mga balita, General Espina, ano na ho ba talaga ang status ng mga violence ngayon o karahasan dulot po ng eleksyon?
Yeah, if we compare this time around, 2010 elections, with the past two preceding elections, 2007 and 2004, nagtala po tayo and we were able to record a decrease of about 200% effectively, no? For the 117-day period. Now, alam nyo, may mga karahasan hong nangyari. And these are all being taken care of and investigated by our unit commanders in the Joint Security Control Centers. and especially by the Philippine National Police Unit commanders. This time around, we were able to record 74 incidents, which is lower by 119.03% if compared to 2004, which recorded 162, no? And by 137.89% lower this time around if compared to 2007, which recorded a total of 176 incidents.
And yes, you attribute this to the total gun ban, pero in the past, meron naman tayong gun ban din, hindi ba?
Alam niyo po na pinatupad po ng ating Chief na Philippine National Police, Director General Jesus Versosa. Ang preparations po kasi namin napakahaba. If you remember well, we started with the National Firearms Control Program last year. It was started off during the first quarter of last year and then affected July and continued on till October, till November, with the executive order that was handed down by our beloved President, Executive Order 817 and 817A, which called for the amnesty program. Now, with that program, we were able to account for 686,000 firearms.
Wow, so nabawasan talaga.
Yes, out of the baseline that we have of 1.1 million loose firearms, expired and unlicensed firearms. This is about 62.4% of the loose firearms that we have in our midst. Kasi ang objective po talaga dito tanggalin natin ang mga loose firearms in the streets because these are the main instruments of crime during election period. And ito lang po talaga ang naging sekreto dito and ito po ang pinatupad natin.
Dr. Vera, just taking off from what the General has made mention in terms of the history of violence in this country during elections, it's looking at the political landscape, the way the campaign has emerged from local to the national level. Would you say that the quality of the campaign and even the candidates really seeking office and the vote of our people are better now compared to what it was maybe in 2004 or even in the past?
That's a very difficult question to answer. In terms of the response of the police, I think they're doing a very, very good job. I think the response rate is very fast. I know because I am helping several local candidates in Pangasinan right now. And in my own hometown, which is Pangasinan, there was an incident a couple of days ago of political killing between competing candidates. And the police were immediately able to arrest the people who were responsible for it. Compare that to previous elections where I've helped at the local level, I would say very categorically that the police are doing a much better job this time.
Freddie, I'd like to follow up lang on campaigning in general. Compared to previous elections, you think the political parties and the candidates are able to launch a better system of campaigning sa election na ito? How have they improved in professionalizing the way they do campaign?
The biggest shift in this election is that a lot of the candidates, particularly at the national level, have shifted their campaign to go to about 70% of their whole campaign fund going to media. So the biggest shift is to shift from the usual traditional postering, the jeepneys bearing their names with loudspeakers going around. Much of the effort has been put on the media for national candidates. And so that actually decreases a lot of rivalries at the local level. Ang isang pinagsisimulan ng maraming gulo sa local kasi yung pagkabit ng posters. Something as simple as that can trigger
which happened in Manila.
Yeah, very dangerous situations at the local level because plans and political followers take this a little too seriously. So that has been reduced significantly by the decision to go to the media. I think the other factor that has been very different in this campaign is that because attention has been so obsessively focused on the presidency, a lot of the local rivalries and a lot of the candidates
are forgotten.
Are given a free pass for many of them.
Yeah.
They're not given as much scrutiny. The debates at the local level are a little more subdued because of the focus of the media and people on the national candidates.
Pero some people nga are saying na baka dahil napapabayaan tong local elections at saka yung local candidates. Kasi sabi nila, hindi lang national eh. Sa totoo lang, hindi lang daw national ang halalan, kundi local din. Because many of the people, for example, in the mountains, hindi yan mamamasahe para bumoto dun sa ibaba. So ang gagawin ng iba, they're going to, magkakaroon ng mga sasakyan dyan. Oo, sige, gusto mo bumoto, sumakay ka na doon. So, meron pa, papakainin pa siguro yan. And then they're going to give the sample ballot. So, yung local, mahalaga din yun doon sa, So, some people are saying, in the previous elections siguro, na kung sinong may hawak ng lokal, yun ang mananalo. Dahil boto yung hawak niya.
But, but tying that up to the national, Mon, and delivery of votes is so important. A solid organization would really count. So if you don't have a solid local organization,
yes,
especially those for running for the residency, the conversion could be very low for somebody who may be rating high in the national surveys.
That already assumes that you have something to convert. Because the first step that you have to do is to get people to notice you, that's the name we call, and get them to like what you are saying, what you stand for. And that, of course, needs media exposure. That's the fastest and the broadest method. And then what you call conversion. Conversion is basically bringing those people who will vote for you to the polling place and the precinct. The most important there is number two, getting people to really like you and vote for you. Because that in itself is conversion. And in our case, national politicians or national candidates are really somebody, people that the people on the ground don't really see often. In fact, it's in the television that they see them.
That's right. So, ibig po sabihin na yung manok ni Mayor na presidente, yung manok yung candidates ng isang mayor para sa mga national positions, maita-translate po niya sa mga boto sa mga sumusuportas kay Mayor? Doktor?
Another difference in this campaign compared to previous campaigns is that the amount of financial support by national candidates to local candidates has been extremely very, very low. All over the country, if you ask the mayors and the local candidates,
may perang dumating ba?
Practically wala sa majority. That changes the landscape. So when you say ikakampanya ba ni Mayor na maigi yung national candidate, you'll have to ask the mayors individually. For some of them who may be personal friends or who really believe in the presidential candidate, maybe they will. For those who are hedging, maybe they will promise but they will not be very aggressive in their carrying. Kasi the amount of funds that have cascaded down to the local level is at an all-time low for this election.
Siguro understandable because there's a general shift in a strategy in general. Rather than spending your money financing, maintaining these local alliances, you're spending it on directly communicating to the people. Siguro, what's interesting to know now is, base sa ating assessment, how effective have they been in crafting their messages and in getting these messages across?
Well, we'll continue with that discussion after we pause for this reminder. Hatol ng Bayan will be back.